Let's see the microphone.
Hello. Here.
Morning.
Good
morning.
Morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just admitting everyone as they get into the lobby.
Good morning. Morning.
Good morning. I'd like to ask if you are not speaking today, would you please mute your microphone? Thank you.
Yes, I should have.
It's going to take us just a few minutes. People are still signing in. I have to admit them as they sign in, so please be patient.
There it is. There's a lot of people in here. I want to watch the conversation.
Please mute your microphones if you are not speaking. Okay. It is approximately 10:03. I think we have admitted all that are waiting in the lobby at this point. Others will be admitted as they sign in. Once again, I would like to ask that you mute your microphones if you are not speaking. We will do the same on this side. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Perry, and we're here for a hearing on the matter of S. Bayat versus Patrick Foy and others. The index number is 161335 of 2020. This is an order to show cause by the petitioners seeking to enjoin the respondents from failing to provide lunch relief for station agents and locking booths during station agents' lunch period unless and until public hearings are conducted concerning such partial closing pursuant to sections 1204.15 and 1205 New York Public Authorities. In addition, they seek to bar the respondents from partially or fully closing any token booth in the New York City subway system, including but not limited to the booths listed in Exhibit C, the petition, unless and until public hearings are conducted, and from partially or fully closing any token booths in the New York City subway system, including but not limited to the booths listed in Exhibit C of the petition, unless alternate adequate arrangements for the safety and the convenience of the public have been made, pursuant to Section 1204.15 of the Public Authorities Law, and from partially or fully closing any token booth in the New York City subway station, including but not limited to the booth listed in Exhibit C of the verified petition, or by locking the booths of station agents taking lunch unless adequate accommodations are provided for persons with disabilities as required by the New York City human rights law. And finally, they seek to enjoin respondents from failing to conduct such hearings in each community affected by such proposed partial or full token booth closings unless 45 days notice is given to the local community board and to the affected public, so that comments may be elicited from the community board prior to the public hearing and an MTA board vote. One moment, please, while I admit the 12 people have joined. I'm just admitting them to our hearing.
Very good.
For those of you who have just joined our hearing, welcome. I'm asking that you please mute your microphones if you are not speaking. We will do the same on this end. I must say also, and this is off the record, I live in Manhattan, I live near a hospital, and unfortunately, ambulances are beyond my control. So sometimes they just whiz by my home. I hope to be able to mute them at times so it won't disturb our hearing today, but sometimes I'm not unable to do that. I'll mute them as soon as I hear them. So I apologize in advance should that occur. Does anyone have any questions before I ask the attorneys to make their appearances for the record?
Yes, Judge, I have a question. So we have exhibits, and I know I did this once in August, and I don't remember. How do I, and I sent them to the court.
Yes, I got them last night.
Okay, so should we put them on the screen? Because my witnesses have them too, and the defendants have whatever I sent to the court. Or should we work on it not on the screen?
If you can't put them on the screen, that's okay. We've been able to, on this side, forward the exhibits to the court reporter because they came so late in the evening last night, and this was also rushed, us putting this together. So she is without the benefit of having the exhibits before her. So in my past hearings, what I've asked the parties to do is to refer to the document, the page, the paragraph number, if there are any quotations made within that exhibit. If a person is referred to in the exhibit, let's say the testimony of or a statement by a person in the exhibit, stating that person's name and the lines of the exhibit denoting the person's commentary or statement. You can put it up to the screen also so that we will all have the benefit of seeing those exhibits. What I'm trying to say is I want to do as much as possible since we are hindered by this new technology, our new normal. So if you could put it up to the screen.
No, I don't know how to do. I see a thing called with an arrow that looks like an upload, but it says only meeting organizers and presenters can share. And
I must confess to all of you, I am a Luddite. I am not a computer whiz or an IT technology person, so I've been relying mostly on my 15-year-old son to assist me. He should have a master's in IT by now, assisting me in the court to do all the things that we need to do. But he doesn't. He's a freshman in high school. So I would not trust that arrow, Mr. Schwartz. I'm not sure where your document would go. So if you could just hold it up to the screen and identify it as cogently as possible, we'll work from there. On that note, I'm going to ask either the petitioner or the respondent, or you can split it, to order the transcript so that we all may have a copy of the transcript, such that should there be any discrepancy or mistake regarding an exhibit, we'll be able to correct that. We will all have the same information as I approach writing this decision.
all right, Judge, I have one other request, and that's so we don't have to go through like authenticating exhibits. I think all the exhibits that we agree to just admit everything into evidence that either side has presented. I think we only overlapped on one.
If you would like to, once we begin the hearing, you can stipulate to that effect on the record. That's okay, that's fine. That's fine with me.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Hurd. I'm not stipulating to that. There are multiple exhibits that Mr. Schwartz wants to use that I don't think are appropriate.
Okay, then we will have to go exhibit by exhibit based upon Mr. Hurd's request. And unfortunately, I've been unable to also, excuse the IT references, there is a portion of Microsoft Teams which permits us to go into a private room or some sort of area on the computer to discuss those things. Unfortunately, we've been unable to get that uploaded on my particular computer. So I've been trying to think this morning as to how to do that without the rest of the public knowing about which we're speaking. But I've done in the past, because my hearings have been smaller, is to ask the other parties to log off and then log on. But considering we have quite a number of people who are still signing on, I'm not sure if that's going to be possible today. So if either of you have a suggestion as to how we may accomplish that, I'm waiting on a response from the court's IT person as how to do that. I have not received such response at this moment. I'd be happy to take any suggestions you might have.
All right, so because Mr. Hurd won't stipulate to documents because he thinks they're not relevant, do I have to establish that a PIC book is a PIC book, or do I need to go through that, or just we're going to argue relevancy?
Well, I think Mr. Hurd will probably object to those documents that he feels are objectionable. If those are other documents like a PIC book about which he is probably familiar, he may not object to the PIC book. He may object to a section within the PIC book that he disagrees upon. So,
Your Honor, it isn't the PIC book. We can stipulate to the PIC books or the Fjord list. It's other documents that Mr. Would use to use.
All right. Bringing up some other issues that I was going to address on the record, but let's do that now. On our first meeting, when I scheduled this hearing, I did not anticipate the length. Hold on, there's 7 more people coming in. I did not anticipate this hearing going more than an hour or 2, but it appears to me now, looking at your exhibits and listening to the comments regarding the introduction of evidence, we may go longer than 1.5 or 2 hours. I'm hoping we can stick to that, but I just want us to be flexible. Should we not finish before 1 o'clock, we will take a 1-hour lunch break and resume at 2. Our court day ends at 4, so hopefully we'll be able to finish before lunch. Let's try to vector our focus on getting through this, getting to the meat of the issues, so that we will be able to finish the day. Are there any other questions before we commence? There being none, I would ask the attorneys to please place your appearances on the record.
Arthur Schwartz, Advocates for Justice Chartered Attorneys for the petitioners.
Stephen Hurd, Proskauer Rose, on behalf of the respondents.
Good morning, counsel, and good morning to all of you who have just signed in and the folks that I am signing in presently. Presently, we have 47 people in attendance, with the list going as we go forward. For those of you who have just signed in, I would ask that you please mute your phones if you are not speaking. We would like to get all of the excess noise out of the room so the counsel and the witnesses may be heard by court reporter and myself. Any further questions, counsel? Asking one more time before we start. There being none, okay, Mr. Schwartz, you are the petitioner, please begin.
All right, the first witness I'm going to call is Yvette Bassnight, who's sitting in a room. You can see a room with one of the other witnesses. Add to Broadway. You want to raise your hand, Ms. Bassnight, so the judge can see who you are?
Okay, you're in the room called Robert Kelly. Okay, yes. All right. I see you, Ms. Vasquez. Okay. Is there a microphone close to you? Or,
Speak.
I can speak.
okay, would you say a few words because
My name is
you're
Yvette
sounding a
Bass.
little, there's an echo.
My name is Yvette Bass Knight. I'm the section chair for station agents, local 100. And I'm the
Okay.
station.
All right, I can hear you, but please try to continue to speak up. I'm going to swear you in.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you much better now. Much
Okay.
better now.
Ms. Best, not on the, do you have a computer that you can, if I sent you various exhibits yesterday, that you can look at them because I can't put them on the screen?
I have some of the exhibits here with me.
Okay, but you don't have all the
What do
you
you
don't
need?
have the laptop here.
No. Let me see. I have a tablet I can get. Would
Okay.
that
Yeah, just so if I ask about a document, you can see it.
Can I be excused to get my tablet, please?
1 second. Good.
If you need it, yes, you're going to need it, so let's do that. If there are any other witnesses who are planning to testify, I would ask, pursuant to what Mr. Schwartz has indicated, please try to get your documents that were forwarded to you, any exhibits, now, by whatever means they were forwarded to you, so that they will be of the ready when your name is called to testify.
Your Honor, I'm not getting Ms. Basnight on camera.
She just walked away.
I wasn't when she was speaking earlier, though, either. I'm
There's
just getting a room without her in it.
Okay, no, there's a room called Robert Kelly.
Right, and I'm
She
just
was sitting
getting
at the head.
an empty room, and I look at that. I don't know if the camera...
There's no one sitting at the table at all?
No.
Okay.
There are 2 people there.
I see it.
I understand there are people there, but mine says Robert Knight, and it's an empty room.
Robert Kelly, K-E-L-L-E-Y.
Huh?
Are you not going to get that?
I see everybody.
That's you. That's the one he's looking at.
No, it's both of you.
Because he sent us a bunch of it.
Those sitting in Mr. Kelly's room, would you raise your hands again? Mr. Hurd, can you see?
No, I just have an empty room, Your Honor. It looks like it's the end of the conference room table.
Can you see me now?
No.
All right, you probably in my own. I'm in the quill room, and I got mine phone in my office as well. I'm on there twice.
Oh, well, yeah. When you speak, I get the other camera that doesn't have anybody on it.
Right, so I'm on there twice. You got me on there twice. This one here went in the quill room. Can you see Ms. Basnight now?
No, it's the same. It's the same. It's your other camera.
Okay, I can see that. Okay. All right, let me turn you on.
Alan, Sally, can you please? Very echoey. It'd be hard to take.
Yes.
Sure. This is for the court reporter. Karen, are you able to hear clearly?
No, it's echoey. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It's very echoey.
I believe that's because they're in a large room. And
And here's the one in another room. Shut that
Now
one.
I can see you. Thank you.
Okay.
He couldn't want me. He couldn't see us.
All right, now you can see. All right, Mr. Hurd.
Okay.
Everyone okay?
So, no. They said that it's echo. How do I?
Oh, if you have it on that, it's going to echo because that's big enough. microphone.
No, I just got it.
Oh, you just got
Because
it.
he said they wanted me to see the exhibits.
Oh,
So, but listen.
turn off the speaker on this one.
That's the tech person for you.
Okay. That's right. Okay. So you said turn off the right here?
If you
The
turn,
sound?
I would turn off the sound.
So, okay.
The mic probably.
What mic?
Where's the connect where you're seeing the documents, right?
No, I just got it, so I have to go, that's what I need your help in, to go to, how do I get to it?
The link itself, right? They sent it to your email?
Oh. It didn't go to my, it wouldn't, something that,
Miss Fast Night, all I need is for you to look at the emails that I sent you. You
I
have to see what
have to sign on. I have to sign on.
Your email, the one he sent you yesterday.
Maybe it's because that room is so much echoey.
Yes. You have it on your phone?
Yeah.
You do, just see the email. The email he sent you yesterday.
You could look at it on your phone if you have it on. You have a phone.
Okay, so I'm going to my email on my phone. The email you sent me just now?
No, the one he sent you yesterday.
With all the, I think
I'm
they
not
were.
internet here. Take my time. I'm not internet here. Okay. Okay, hold on. Please send it to my other email. Okay.
Are you all set, Ms. Basnight?
No, not yet, please. I'm not too internet savvy.
I understand.
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. I have to go in the box. Okay. Office shorts. I did. Inbox.
They were at 4:36 p.m.
The email today.
Okay. 4:36. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Done. 6 items?
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot of items. I sent you 4 different emails. So let's start with the first one. I put it in order. So.
Okay. Something. Okay. Okay. Seniority votes.
I'm going to start with Exhibit 1.
Okay, hold, let me go. Hold. Exhibit 1. 2 items. Station agent. Okay. Just Exhibit 1. I have. Yeah. Okay. I'm
Are we
ready.
ready?
Right.
Alright.
Someone where she is going to print them too. So,
Okay.
Hey, I have it. Okay, he wants it to be printed. Okay.
All right, are we ready? I've got to swear you in, Ms. Basnight.
Okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you promise or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in regards to this hearing in this matter?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you very much. Would you please say and spell your name for the record and your address, please?
My name is Yvette M. Basnight. My address is 455 Prospect Place, Brooklyn, New York, 11238, apartment 4L.
Thank you very
Please spell
much.
your last name. You didn't spell your
Okay.
last name. Spell your
My
last name.
last name, okay. My last name is B as in boy, ASSKNIGHT.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Schwartz, you may inquire.
just 1 second, Your Honor. I just want to I'm just forwarding them to somebody where Ms. Basnight is so that they can print it out. Okay. Ms. Basnight, what is your what's your title with the Transit Authority?
I'm a railroad clerk / station agent.
Okay, and how long have you worked as when you say railroad clerk / station agent, why do you say that?
Because I have 32 years on the job, and I came on the job as a railroad clerk, and with the technology, the title changed to station agent.
Okay, what year did you start?
1988.
Okay, and currently you work for who?
I work for the Transit Authority.
Okay, and do you also hold a position with the union, Local
Yes,
100?
Yes, I do.
And what's the title you hold?
I'm the section chair for station agents.
And is that you work on that position full time?
I'm always the section chair, but I get released to the union from the TA to do certain projects, like the pick. The section officers are the officers who do the pick.
All right. So otherwise, so when you're not released to do those certain things, do you work as a station agent?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can you explain what a pick is?
Okay. It's a process we have twice a year. This is a 24/7 organization. So we pick our job. We pick what group we want to work. We pick what tour we want to work. We pick our RDOs, which is regular days off. How you have 2 days off, Your Honor, Saturday and Sunday? Well, we pick our days off because everybody can't have Saturday, Sunday because this is a 24/7 operation. So we must be there 24/7. And we pick our vacation. And we do this twice a year. We go to the pick. We have what's called a general pick, and at the general pick, you pick a booth. We used to pick a lunch relief. You would pick a booth job, lunch relief job, and you would pick what's called RDO, or you would pick extra. The RDO and extras are done by tours. The vacation relief, we will pick what's called vacation relief because when we go on vacation, somebody has to cover our vacations. So we have vacation relief jobs, and we have the RDO jobs and the extra jobs. And that's called the general pick.
Okay. So when you go to the pick, to go to the pick, is that literally the people that actually go to a room and pick a job?
Yes, we go to the pick room and we pick a job.
All right. And when you go to those jobs, what do you pick it from? What is there a list of jobs that you get to pick from?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Is there a list of jobs that you get to pick from?
Yes.
And based on what you just said, those jobs include, I'm just going over what you just said to make sure we're clear. Those include regular booth jobs, right?
Yes.
And they include vacation relief jobs.
Yes.
They include RDO
Yes.
relief jobs.
Yes.
And they include but for this year they included lunch relief jobs.
Yes.
And they include extra list jobs.
Yes.
Okay. And those are different. So all those jobs are listed in a book. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in what order do people pick?
We pick by seniority order.
And is there a list published prior to the pick of how many people are, on what people's seniority number is?
Yes, there is.
Okay. And what role do you play in the pick process?
Hello? I review the pick books. Before the pick starts, by contract, there is a process where we review the pick books.
And go ahead. Sorry.
We review the tour books and the lunch relief books. The tour books that has the booth and the lunch relief books that has the lunch relief schedules. We don't review RDO, we don't review extra because we are not privy to that information until after the pick.
Okay. And then once you review it, what do you do?
We review the books to make sure everything is okay and it's according to the contract. And once we okay the books and we have a meeting, then we start the process of the pick, actually going to the pick room.
All right. And how many station agents, approximately, just around numbers, are there?
We have approximately 2,635 stationed right now, approximately.
All right. And every single one of those people comes into this room to pick a job?
Some of them, what they do is, mostly everybody comes to the pick room, and we do have some people that will call in their pick.
All right. And is the list of jobs published somewhere for people to look at?
After the pick sheet at a certain point, after the books are reviewed, management puts the jobs on the tents. That's the tents is it's like an employee website that the authority controls, and they put the books on the tents.
All right. And then people come in and pick the jobs.
Okay, a pick sheet is supposed to be sent out to every booth, informing every station agent when the pick begins and when they pick. When the pick begins and ends, and when the RDO pick begins.
All right. And about how long does it take to do this whole process?
From 6 weeks to 8 weeks.
And now in 2000, what are they called? We see some documents called winter pick.
Mr. Schwartz, I'm sorry, I missed the year. In 2000 what?
I withdrew that. You see some books called winter pick. So if something is called winter pick 2021.
Okay,
What
we
is
have
that?
we have two picks. We have a summer pick and a winter pick. The winter pick period commences from the first Sunday after New Year's Day until the Saturday after the 4th of July. That is the winter pick period. And the summer pick period begins the first Sunday after the 4th of July until the first Saturday after New Year's.
All right. And how long in advance of when it starts do people start picking the jobs?
Okay, the pick by contract, once the pick is posted, the pick is supposed to commence in 10 days. We start picking in 10 days once the pick is posted.
So for this current pick for winter 2021, when did people start picking?
June 31st.
November 2nd. When did we start picking?
Yeah.
We started picking on Monday, November 2nd.
And how long did that last?
Approximately to November, let me think, the 22nd was Sunday, the 20th was Saturday. Friday, November 18th is when the pick ended.
Okay. Now, for each pick, you said people pick in seniority order. Is there a list published by the authority of the seniority order that people pick in?
Yes, there is.
Okay. And is that also distributed to individuals?
It's put on the tents. It's put on the tents.
All right. Now, I'm just going to go through some of these documents. You may have some of them there or on your tablet, but all right. The first one, Your Honor, that I'd like to, I sent it around as Exhibit 1. It's called Station Agent Manual.
Yeah.
Your Honor, this is a document I'd have an objection to. It's my understanding that the purpose of today's hearing was on Tuesday, you had a question as to whether or not the lunch relief reallocation resulted in the loss of any people being laid off or any jobs being lost. And that was the purpose. This seems to be dealing with safety issues, which is not a factual dispute. It's yet legal argument as to whether the safety issues prompt the public authorities law, and we briefed that in our papers. But I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's relevant for today's purposes to discuss those issues here, since there really isn't a factual dispute on that issue. It's a legal dispute.
Mr. Schwartz?
Well, first of all, I think it's an important part of the record. There does seem to be a factual dispute because they say that this has nothing to do with safety, and I'm putting in some documents that show the function that the station agents. I'm not going to ask Ms. Basnight about it, but I want to put it into the record, and then we can. I was going to have a different witness to testify about it, but I want to put it into the record. To show the safety function and the function that agents play with respect to disabled people and emergencies in the system. And I'm not sure why Mr. Hurd doesn't want that in the record.
Your Honor, if I may,
Please.
we don't argue that this has nothing to do with safety. What we argue in our papers is that the Public Authorities Law, Section 1204, subsection 15, does not apply here because the staffing of a staff booth does not involve a change of a transit route or a method of transportation, and therefore safety is not a concern when it comes to that statute that Mr. Schwartz is relying on is arguing that a hearing should have been held. So it's not a question of whether station agents are involved in safety. We concede that the station agents have a role in safety. It's that role does not prompt the Public Authorities Law to warrant a hearing under 1204-15. And we've briefed that fully in our papers to you.
Let me interject. I'm looking at my notes from our last time together, and specifically I wanted us to focus today on whether the contemplated staffing reallocation or elimination alter the current accessibility for a change in the maintenance of the access. So there was a question because you were arguing over, yes, this is whether it is a reallocation of staffing or an elimination of staffing, because the determination upon that will determine whether the public interest law is triggered. So we have to get to that first, prior to us getting to what the station agent's functions are. And as Mr. Hurd has said, that's been conceded. But the focus of this morning was to determine what the MTA is doing, whether they're reallocating or whether they are eliminating, because both of you had different views upon that. That's where I thought we would begin.
Right, but Judge, all I was going to do now was, since Mr. Hurd doesn't want to stipulate to exhibits, I wanted to go through them so that I don't have to stop the testimony. I was going to go through Exhibit 1 to 16 and get them in evidence so I could ask about them. He decided to be difficult, so I have to do that. And it would be easier if I just put them all into evidence and then ask questions about them.
Well, normally,
I'm objecting to Exhibit 1 on the grounds that you just described, that that's not the purpose of today's hearing.
Normally, we're down for the circumstances in which we find ourselves, counsel would confer whether regarding the stipulation of admitting certain exhibits, and then bring before the court prior to the commencement of the hearing your objections, that the court would decide that in sidebar rather than have us do this here. So, Mr. Schwartz, you want to put 16 exhibits into evidence now and us to go over Mr. Hurd's objections now. Is that correct?
Right. So then I could just ask questions about different exhibits without having to pause and put it into evidence. Most of them come from his client, but he wants to object. So, and even Exhibit 1 comes from his client. It's not something that
I'm not objecting on authenticity grounds. I'm objecting on relevance grounds, and that's not the purpose of today's hearing.
I'm just trying to get to the point where we're streamlining our discussion today.
That's what I'm
wanted us to first focus on the question as to whether the MTA's decision is a reallocation of staff or an elimination of staff. That, I believe, is our first hurdle, because the determination upon that triggers the public interest law. So I'd like us to start there. We could start there. Perhaps we could even eliminate some of the, using your word, eliminate some of the other testimony and just get to that heart. Because if I don't get there, if I don't get over that, I can't get to some of these other issues.
I just wanted to put it into evidence. It's not like I wasn't asking her.
Hold on just a moment, please. Those of you who are not speaking, would you please mute your microphones? Thank you so very much. Mr. Schwartz.
I'll skip over the two and we'll come back to it since this is so simple. But Mr. Hurd is not someone that makes things simple. So, okay, Miss Bastnight, let's go to exhibit. And I'm just doing this well, I guess Mr. Hurd is going to make me prove things. So let's go to exhibit 4.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Listen, excuse me. I'd like to say this to both counsel and all parties. We don't need that sort of comment. I really don't like that. And I think it takes our focus on what we need to be focusing on today. So let's not try to cast aspersion upon each other. Let's just get to the facts, stick with the facts, so I can deal with the law. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
All right. Miss Bastnight, exhibit 4.
Okay.
It's called Station Agent. It's called Winter 2021 Tour Book.
Okay, hold on.
What is the document? Who issued it?
Management, New York. Sorry, the Transit Authority issues the tour books.
And what is a tour book? Oh no, I can't ask you that. And is this something?
Wait, Arthur, I don't have an objection. I can stipulate to this document. I don't have an objection to this document.
Okay. So, Your Honor, I'd like to move Exhibit 4 into evidence.
No objection.
There being no objection, the document is admitted into evidence.
Okay, Ms. Bastnight, Exhibit 5, which is called Station Agent Winter 2020 Tour Book Results. Is that a document issued by the Transit Authority?
Yes, it is.
No objection.
Your Honor, I'd like to move Exhibit 5 into evidence.
So admitted.
Exhibit 6 is called Station Agents Winter 2020 RDO Extra Vacation Relief Results Book. Who issues that?
No objection.
So admitted.
Exhibit 7 is called Station Agent Winter 2020 Seniority Book. Who issues that?
No objection.
So admitted.
Exhibit 8
No objection.
is
So
called.
admitted.
Well, can I identify it for the record, Your Honor?
Sorry, so sorry.
It's called Station Agent Winter 2020 Tour Book. Pre-pick.
No objection, Your Honor.
That's admitted also.
Exhibit 9 is called Station Agent Winter 2021 Seniority Book.
No objection.
Also admitted.
Exhibit 10 is a memo dated September 28th, 2020, from Job Selection Programs and PICS sent to Robert Kelly, who was then division chair.
No objection.
What is exhibit?
So admitted. Next.
Yeah. Exhibit 12 is an excerpt from the collective bargaining agreement between the Transit Authority and Transport Workers Union Local 100. sections 1.10 to 1.11.
Your Honor, I have a relevance objection on this. This deals with game sharing. It wasn't,
Can't hear you, Mr. Hurd.
I can't hear you, Mr. Hurd.
I have an objection to Exhibit 12. It deals with gain sharing, which is not an issue in this case. It was resolved by the arbitrator pursuant to union grievance, and the gain sharing rules put back.
Wait, I can't, Mr. Hurd, it's hard to understand you.
I can't understand you either, sir.
I apologize. Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
I object to the Exhibit 12, which deals with gain sharing. Gain sharing was an issue at the arbitration pursuant to the union grievance, and it was put back into the 21 pick, or is relevant to this proceeding.
Your Honor, both parties are offering the arbitration decision, and it's really so that the arbitrator doesn't quote the contract. So it's in there because we both think the arbitration award is relevant, and it's just the contractual language about gain sharing. What happened was, Your Honor, that there were 65 booths where, due to an agreement back in the 1990s, station agents have been staying during their lunch period. They don't get relieved, and the arbitrator said that those booths had to stay staffed. And that's if I ask one question about it, just so it's clear that there are still 65 booths that are going to have people sitting in them at lunchtime, since we're dealing with numbers.
Mr. Hurd?
It was an issue that was resolved at the arbitration. Mr. Schwartz's petition does not raise gain sharing as an issue in this case, and it certainly has nothing to do with the reallocation of staff versus the elimination of staff, which was the purpose of this hearing. So I don't believe it's relevant. I think it would be a waste of time.
And Mr. Schwartz, you're saying because it's included or referred to in the arbitration decision, you just want it to be admitted because it relates to an actual...
I'm sorry, Judge.
I'm so sorry. Mr. Schwartz, you want this admitted because you indicate that it's referred to in the arbitration decision and you wanted to quote the complete language? Is that correct?
Yes, and it involves the numbers. There's 65 positions, 65 booths. That's all.
Well, are we there yet with regards to numbers? Because as I indicated,
I still have some exhibits to put.
All right, I'll just let it in. Let's just move, and you'll object when testimony is referred to. It's in.
And then exhibit 13 is called the Gain Sharing Bulletin. It's dated, it's a transit authority document dated September 9th, 1993, and it discusses the booths where gain sharing is involved.
Again, Your Honor, I object on relevance grounds. Gain sharing is not an issue in this case, but I understand if you want to move on.
Let's just get them in. Let's get them in, and should there be an objection at the time that they are referred to, we will deal with it at that time. Go ahead, Mr. Schwartz.
Exhibit 14 is another section of the contract which just discusses the rules for the PIC, as Ms. Bastnight just testified. It's section 3.8 of the collective bargaining agreement, and it goes from pages 141 to 150.
No objection.
So admitted.
Exhibit 15 is the arbitration decision that we both wanted to put in.
No
It was
objection.
issued.
It's attached to the petition, I believe.
So
Right,
admitted.
Okay. Then Exhibit 16, which I added late last night, is called Station Agents Winter 2020 Lunch Relief Schedules.
No objection.
So admitted.
And then I'd also, Your Honor, like just to move in two documents that the authority offered that were very helpful. One, it had a parentheses with a 3 in front of it that I'm not sure, I didn't have a transmission document for the authority to the court. Did you send those to the court, Mr. Hurd?
You're talking about the two summaries?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
So there's one document which had a 3 in front of it, which I was going to call Defendants 3, which is called Winter 2020. Oh, sorry, it's called Station Agents Count for Winter Pick 2020.
No objection. Obviously, it's our exhibit.
So admitted.
And then there's one called Winter 2021. I'm sorry, called Station Agent Count for Winter 2021, which is had a 4 in front of it, which we call Defendants 4.
No objection.
All right. Ms. Fastnight, if you could look, I think at Exhibit 8, which was in my second email that I sent out around 4:36.
Which one is Exhibit 8?
It's called the Winter 2020 Tour Book. Pre-pick.
Okay, hold up. Let me pull it up.
Arthur, I just need to clarify one thing. You said Exhibit 15, which I didn't object to, was the arbitrator's award, correct?
Oh, I'm sorry. That it's a letter from me. I didn't mean to do that. So
Yeah, that. I do have an objection to your letter.
no, I didn't. That's an error. I apologize. So so the arbitration award, the authority, it was attached to the petition, but the authority put it in as defendants
7.
7. So
So you're not moving for your letter.
No. I just opened it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, I understand.
So we'd move the authority's Exhibit 7 into evidence.
So moved.
All right, Ms. Fastnight. So I was referring you to the tour book for the tour book pre-pick 2020 winter.
Yes.
All right. Now, this book, as you were testifying before, this is a list of all the jobs. This will tell us what this is.
No, this is a list of only the station booths. This is a list of only the station booths.
And so it's a list of all the jobs in the station booths?
Oh, yes.
All right. And so I'm just going to go to the job number 1. The jobs are all numbered?
Yes.
Or the booths are all numbered? Sorry.
Well, the jobs are each tour. Each tour is a job.
Right. So if I look at the first one on the second page of the exhibit, it says job number 0001
Yes.
at 207th Street. Is that one job or 3 jobs?
That's one job. That is the AM tour at 207th Street on the A. That is the AM tour at that booth.
But it looks like it has 7 days of the week listed.
Yes, it's because it's a 7-day job, Monday to Friday, and Saturday and Sunday.
All right. And so if somebody picks this job, they have to work 7 days a week, or how does that work?
They work 5 days. They work 5 days.
And so after they pick this booth, how do they figure out which days they're off?
When we go to the pick room, the general pick, when we pick our jobs, someone will pick this booth and they will pick their days off. So, you want me to explain further, or?
No. So they get to, after they pick the job, then they pick their days off?
That's done together. That's done at one time. You pick your job, you pick the booth, and then when you're picking your booth, you're going to look at the days, what days off are available to you according to seniority. And you're going to pick your days off and the booth at the same time.
Okay. So it's not pre-packaged, that you pick one and then you pick the other.
No, it's not pre-packaged.
All right. And if we could just look at Exhibit 16.
Okay, one second. 16.
Which I sent late last night. You sent
Okay,
it to me. Get back to you. It's called Lunch Relief Schedules. Winter 2020.
Yes.
Okay, what is that? What is that?
Okay, in order for us to go to lunch, someone has to relieve us for lunch, or else we cannot leave the booth to go to lunch.
That's the way it was until now, right?
Yes, yes.
So what is this, like if we look at the first page of this book, what does it show?
The first page tells you the lunch relief job, the job number, the lunch relief job number, and it shows you the schedule. Now, when you go to the pick room, and either in the past, you pick a booth or a lunch relief job. It's the same thing. With a lunch relief job, you have to pick your RDO, your regular day off. It's tied together. It's tied at the hip.
All right, now let me ask you, so you can pick a booth. This is in 2020. You could pick a booth or you could pick a lunch relief job.
Yes.
Was there, what about, what is an extra list?
You can also, at that same time, you could pick a booth, you could pick a lunch relief job, you can pick extra and vacation relief.
So there's extra jobs and vacation relief jobs?
Yes.
And so a station agent who goes to pick can look at 4 different lists when they make their pick?
Okay, let me explain what the RDO is, because you have to, it's 2 parts to the pick. After we finish the general pick, where you pick in extra, vacation relief, a booth, a lunch relief, or RDOs. RDOs are a little different, because once the general pick is finished, we call this the general pick. You have to come back to pick your RDO jobs. Every person who picked RDO, AM, PM, or nights, have to come back to the pick room and pick RDOs. And what the pick is sort of paused after we finish the general pick, because the people in the pick room have to compile the RDO list. They have to compile the RDO list. And we come back to the pick room, and when you come back, when you come back to the pick room, imagine a wall. There's a wall, and on this wall you will see the AM tour. Under the AM tour, you will see 7 columns for each day of the week. And under Sunday, you will see all the jobs available for Sunday, which means I have Friday, Saturday off. So when you come to the night tour, you're going to see my job listed on Friday and Saturday. You're going to see all the jobs on the AM tour somebody